More and more I look at what people need. It is getting more and more evident that one of the top values which we all need to develop is gratitude. It is the intention which filters what we see. In our Indian culture, this intention plays a very important role. When we actually tell our intentions aloud, it has its own effect. So generally, if you take any Vedic rite or any religious ritual or rite, we do what is called as Sankalpam. It is clarifying and sort of reflecting on the intention of what we are trying to do so that our entire attention is on what we are about to do next. So we as Hindus intuitively knew the power of intention, so that every activity, if we think it's an important activity, it is always preceded by a very clear reiteration and concretization of the intention. What am I going to do now? And for what am I doing it right now? And that's what the current psychology also seem to conclude, that intention is very important when we do what we do, because the intention is a very powerful software filter which influences all our sensors. So it influences what we see, it influences what we hear, it influences how we hear. And so if the intention is positive, I am more predisposed to listening to things in a positive tint. If my intention is not clear, then my default system, whatever is automatic in me, whatever I'm habituated, whatever I'm very sensitive to in the past, etc., that takes over. The automated system takes over. And to be very honest, I lose control of how I'm going to process my inputs because my intention was not clear. This spelling out of the intention seems to be a part of our Hindu culture. That's why whenever there is a very critical learning about the mind and consciousness, people do what is called a Shanti Patam. Shanti Patam means peace chant. And one of the most famous peace chants is a beautiful prayer which says, Badram Karnebi Shruniyama Deva. We are praying, let my ears listen only to auspicious things. Let me see only things which are auspicious, and let all my sense organs be tuned to receive positivity from everywhere. The intention is clarified saying, I shall take only that which is positive. Auspicious means positive, isn't it? So let my ears turn on a filter so that I can only receive things which are auspicious. Or a prayer that I can't control my outer world, Hey Deva, hey beloved Bhagavan, make sure that whatever signals come and hit my sense organs, the sounds which come to my ears, the sights which I am going to see, which I need to see, let it all be auspicious. So both ways, let me see things which are auspicious, or let me see auspiciousness in things. And so an intention is the filter. So when I intend to do something and I reiterate it in my head, and then I get into an act of receiving inputs, then it filters and cuts off things which are noise, which don't align to my intentions. So an intention is a filter which can clearly allow the voice to come through and cuts out the noise. So if the intention is to look for positive things, the mind, interestingly, using all the inputs of ears, eyes, etc., has the power to cut out that which is not positive, which is the noise, and allow only the positive to come in. If you don't put the filter, the default state of the mind is generally it is a magnet for so-called negative things which stoke fear, uncertainty, and sense of anxiety and stuff like that. And so, unless I have a clear intention of recording positives which happen around me, I tend to carefully record only the negatives which happen around me, whether it is in a relationship, about a person, about an event, about even day-to-day happenings in my life. So how do we inject a dose of positivity is we carefully, with intention, deliberately, consciously start recording the positive. However so, We can either record the positives on a piece of paper like journaling, best way, or at least in our mind, think about it. These are the wonderful things which happened today. Today was a good day. Or better still, share it with a friend, share it with a partner, share it with somebody whom you care for. And that way, you tend to reinforce the positive by, first of all, remembering and also speaking it out. And that's very important that we start doing it. And why it is important is because it's getting more and more evident that gratitude and carefully nurtured practice of gratitude would go a long way in really, really making our life happier, purposeful, and fulfilling. It's a small act, but it goes a long way. We get so inundated by a few negative things that we fail to notice these humongous positive things happening around us. So many of them. Some of them even very big. Unless I have an intention to see them and record them, I lose it forever. And I tend to think there is only 30 when there is 300 because I didn't look for it. So the challenge is to start recording positives.